Ahoy. I'll just make sure my mic's on there. Lads, lasses, people with glasses, and of course, all of those in between. My name, in case you didn't already know, is Dexter. Hang on. I've just turned my... I'll turn that off. I'll turn that off there. I'll start that again. I shall start again. Lads, lasses, people with glasses, and of course, all of those in between. My name, in case you didn't already know, is Dexter. And welcome to the Low Energy Livestream. I've completely fluffed that. I've completely thrown myself off right from the very get-go. So that's a great start. Good evening, guys. Good evening there, Ben. Good evening, Johnny3TS. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tonight, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Tonight will be an interesting one. As this week, I have done the least preparation out of all of the weeks that I've done this live stream. So this could be interesting. This may turn out terrible. This may be even worse than some of the weeks where I am actually a low energy. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we'll still have some fun. I can still entertain you for a while. However long you just want to stay here, I hope that I can keep you happy. So, and hello there, Albert. Thank you very much for joining as always. And I was kind of wondering if you guys that I made admins last week would still have your admin status, but you do. So, if anybody should be happening to drop abuse or anything like that, you have my permission to do what needs to be done. However, I would like to request, guys, those of you that do have admin status, I do kind of want to have a bit, like with the server. Yes, you have a spanner, Ben. Obviously with this, I do want people to have a fair amount of free roam. I do want people to have a fair amount of free speech so that they can say what they want. They can kind of... Oh. And I have a phone call. I'll have to cancel that. But I will drop the person a message there. I'll have to message them quickly on Facebook. Right, anyway, so yeah. Don't be posting memes on your watch. Yes, well, this is it. You know, Article 13 has passed in the European Union now. So, that's going to make things interesting. What's with all these spanners? Well, you see, Chan, I just happen to draw spanners to us. I don't know what it is. I mean, you've come here as well, haven't you? There. If you mean what's with the bloom. Yeah. Yes, it's the band spanner. As Ben says, it is the band spanner. Last week I gave a couple of the guys admin powers. So if somebody comes in and they are being really abusive or really causing shit, then these guys have the capacity to potentially get rid of those. However, I do also, like I said, I want these to be pretty free. I want things to be pretty free on this. I want people to be able to say their piece and stuff and actually say what's on their minds, as long as it's not breaking any laws. That's the simplest way I can put it. When's this happened? Oh, just last week. I made a few of the guys admins last week, so yeah. Anyway, right, so as I was saying, for those of you that have just dropped in, I am going to be brutally honest. I have done the least prep that I have done. I've done the least prep that I've done in all of the weeks that I've been doing this, so I haven't got much to talk about. So we're going to have to kind of make do. Most of this will be me just sitting down talking to you guys. I do have a little bit, but unfortunately it seems like we've kind of hit a point in the year where things are starting to happen again. Where things are starting to happen again, so people aren't spending as much time on the internet. So I think in future, I'm going to have to spend... I'm actually going to have to put in some work in this. I'm going to have to spend, like, all week focusing on stuff. Hello there, Paint Magnet. Hello, Colin. How are you doing? So, yeah, I am going to have to actually spend more time during the week focusing on preparing things to actually talk about with you guys. And hopefully... We can keep this going. We can keep things entertaining. But yes, as I keep saying, We shall see. Right. But of course, as always, like, I don't know if I've ever said this to you before, but I am free. If you come across something that's interesting, you come across a story that you want us to talk about, feel free to drop us a message over on Facebook. As I've mentioned umpteen times before, I do now have, as I've said umpteen times before, I do now have a Facebook page set up for my YouTube channel. So it's Dexter's PB Lab over on Facebook. If you want to drop us a message about something you'd like my opinion on beforehand, you want to give us a bit of time to prepare, then feel free to just post something over on Facebook, and I'll try and get to it. Right. So then, let's start this week with, as always, where can you go and play this weekend? Unfortunately, I haven't been given much info on this, so I only have 2 places that you can go and play this weekend. Now, of course, there will be more, and there will be events on all over the place that I don't know about, but the ones that I do know about, here they are. So the first one, which I was planning on going to play at this weekend, is District 23 in Billingham has an open class / MagFed walk-on on the 31st, so that is this Sunday. District 23, when they're saying open class, a lot of the old school ballers, or some of those that are more into pump, would associate that with pump, but it's kind of becoming more of a catch-all term for players in general. So hopper-fed players that are using tack caps but are bigger and they wouldn't normally be allowed to play with MagFed players, pump players, basically any play style that you're interested in. District 23 are kind of putting that under the open class brand. So there is a walk-on going on that you can go down, take part in. There is a 10 balls a second, 10 BPS cap put in place. So because obviously it's a CQB site. 10 balls a second is around about the standard for the UK at the minute anyway, and you don't want to be absolutely hammering people, especially with it being a CQB site. And I believe they have a velocity cap of 260, and yes, of course, as Chan says there, it is also semi-automatic. So there is also, pricing, because of course pricing is what everyone wants to know, is £15 for your green fee. And then for a bag of 6.8 caliber paint, which is the standard for the site, is £10 per bag of 500 balls. Now, some people might argue that that is a little bit more expensive. However, you've got to remember that District 23 is an indoor site that is also used for airsoft and kids' birthday parties. So as a result, they use a clear fill ball with a white shell, so that there's not paint splatters all over the place. Or at least there's not. The buildings aren't multicolored, so it's a bit more immersive for the airsoft players, and isn't as brightly colored. And yes, there is a bit of goo, but it's not brightly colored like what normal paintball sites would be for kids' Nerf birthday parties. So I think that I think that's a reasonable price for paint anyway. If you want to take some friends down, or if you need equipment hire is an extra £5, including a chest rig, 6 mags, and of course a marker. And I believe that they use the Tipman TMC at the minute. There is also, of course, on-site parking, toilets, and the cafe, for those that are familiar with the site, is almost ready. So I don't know if they'll have it open in any sort of way at all this weekend, but it is getting closer. Now, you've got to remember, most of the work that's done on this site is done by the site owner, Paul. He puts a hell of a lot of work into this site, so he has to divide his time between keeping the site up to date and changing things and modifying stuff, and also running games outside of his site, as well as, because in case those some of you might not know, Paul actually runs OMG events and also Black Sheep events. And then it also works in connection with other sites to run MagFed games. He also has to try and work on building the cafe. So he's got a lot on his plate. So it's coming along. I've been told that it's coming along and should be done relatively soon, but I don't know yet. Right now, I think I had a message of Albert there just before. Yes. Am I not going to District 23 now? Unfortunately, Albert, it would seem that I already had plans. Yes, I've already been given my orders that I was already booked for that day. So no, I would love to come and play, but I have other plans. Right, what else? And yes, Chan, that never hinders us. Yes. Yep, Ben, part of the mod squad. Now, Colin, is that your mech ion? Or is that just a traditional ion? Is that just a normal battery ion? And the irony, the guy called Garage doesn't have a spanner. Well, Chan, if you promise to be here regular, then I could potentially make you a mod. However, I also don't trust you with admin powers. Right. Now, the second game that I talked about before there was Diamond Wars Event 2 at NPF Bastards Pool, which is, of course, Bastards Pool. It's £65 per ticket, which includes a case of paint, your lunch, and if you need extra paint, it is £30 for a case. Now, if you're interested in this game, it is part of the Diamond Wars series. And the map for the game is up on the Diamond Wars Facebook page if you're interested in going along. Now, I've played Paintfest, I think about 3 times in the past few years, and it is a fantastic game. It's a great game to get down and go play at. And this year, as I understand it, they've changed things up slightly. Now, previously, and it is something that I've kind of had a bit of a niggle at before, but previously when Paintfest have had that game, one of the great things with Paintfest is they have a proper full-on players party. It's normally on the Saturday night. Well, on the Saturday night they have a full players party. They've got a free bar, which is all paid for. So you can go up in there and you can just get whatever drinks you want and how much drink you want. You just tell them and they will give you it, providing you're, of course, you're over 18. So you rock up, you ask for a drink, they give you a drink, you go, and they quite often have some party games on. They've got a full stage set up with a DJ and stuff. They have dancers. They have Mr. and Mrs. Paintfest. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great it's a great thing for to get along to. People generally have a fantastic time at the party. But the problem that I've always had with it, because I'm not particularly a drinker, so unfortunately I don't generally tend to hang around for the players' party. But the only problem that I've had with that is a lot of players go down. They take full use of the players' party. They drink copious amounts of alcohol, and then there is unfortunately a lot of players that previously have then struggled in the mornings, so it kind of affected the gameplay in the mornings on the Sunday mornings. Now, don't get us wrong, it was still a fantastic game. It still is a fantastic game, but this year they've changed things up. Now, this year they're running the big game on the Saturday instead, so everyone's going to get to go down, play the big game on the Saturday. Then you can go and have a party on the Saturday night, have a really good time, not have to worry about getting up early on the Sunday morning if you don't want to, because it's not going to affect the game in a massive way. And then they've got smaller games on the Sunday, so they've basically swapped the 2 days round from what they've done in previous years. But they also have a proper, I can't remember what it's called, guys. Can somebody help us out here? But they're running a mechanical tournament, which is based off, I understand they're doing it as the sort of the 5.5 rules, where they're doing, so if you're shooting an electronic marker, it's running at 5.5 balls per second cap. Is it the Mech Masters, Ben? Is that the one? I think it's the guys from Mech Masters that are running it, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's got another name to the event. But so I've got comments whizzing past us here. I'm trying to like focus on talking news at the same time as dealing with this. So. The GCC, is it? 10 man. The Grand Central Classic. Thank you very much there, Colin. Thank you very much. So yeah, the Grand Central Classic event is being put on. I couldn't remember the name, but I knew what was going on. And yeah, it's Nick Truta's getting involved with it. I think some of the guys from the Mechanical Masters are as well, but I'm not too sure on that factor. But So that's going on. Then there's some big names going along this. You know, there's some of the guys from the Tauntauns. You got some of the guys from Joy Division that are coming back to come and play this. You've got a lot of well-known players a lot of guys that were superstars in paintball. You know, that are coming along and they're going to come and play this event. So you've got the chance to go down there and meet in the middle with guys that have been in the round that have played in paintball for years and years and years. The mechanical masters are there, but not connected to the GCC. Thank you very much, guys. And it's the BZ Grizzlies' first event. Awesome. I hope you do fantastic. You know, like unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make this one myself this year. I've got a bit on my plate. So unfortunately I'm not going to make it. I don't think I'll make it this year, but I really want to see how you guys do, because I know a couple of you are going out there and you're actually going to go out and play with pumps, and I want you to do well. I am rooting for you. As a pump player, I want to see you guys go out there and decimate. And hell, even if you go out there and you win just a handful of matches against guys that are playing semi-auto and stuff, I think that'd be fantastic. I really want to see you do that. One minute. Right, respond to that. So yeah, if you are interested in playing somewhere this weekend, there is those two out there. If you happen to know of anything, if you can let us know before the end of the stream, I'll try and drop it in as well and let people know. If you're playing somewhere this weekend, I want to know about it, because I want to try and help you get more people to that site. And then I want you to be able to come back next week and let us know where you've played, what you thought of it, if you thought it was fun, if you thought it was a great game. I want to know about all that. So anyway, right, going back up. Why? I don't even know why I went off on. Oh yeah. I don't know why I really went off on one about Paintfest. It is a great game, and the point I was trying to make was it's the same site. As I understand it, it's the same site as what the Diamond Wars event number 2 is being held at. This is why I can't be trusted. I just went off on a complete tangent about something that wasn't really. It was only tangentially related. Well. I hope that you enjoyed my complete incoherent ramblings. Right. Any of the other Nest players going to be there? As I'll have the pairs for you for the parts for me Sterling. Albert, I'm not too sure. Chan might be able to answer that better. Chan, are you planning on going down this weekend, or are you two being? Have you two been booked prior? And Brian makes everyone feel uncomfortable. That's not nice. Man can drink though. Yes, he kind of does at times make people feel a little bit uncomfortable, but he doesn't seem to have any problem with exposing himself. So I suppose some people like it. The people on Lad Bible certainly seem to like his story about being shot in the nads. That's what they do with the Eurobig game. Yeah. Mechanical Masters, the GCC, right? I've missed a whole load of comments here. Right. What do you mean who? God, it's hot in here. I'm really starting to cook in here. I think it's because I'm sitting right beside a radiator. Right, anyway. So, first one I'm going to go for today then is I'm going to do today's video shout-outs. Now, the first one, because I kind of have two today. First video shout-out is going to a YouTuber who, by rights, he doesn't need the shout-out. He's already got a good old number of subscribers going for him, and he gets a lot of views anyway. But the first video shout-out goes to Barker. for Shenanigans Part 24. For those of you that haven't watched his stuff before, Barker is he's another YouTuber. He's a lad from down south. Hangs around with the Hidden Hedgehog, Yellow Guy. He's quite friendly with people like Dr. Rush and Artwood as well. And he makes good quality videos. Now that good quality montages, and the guy's a funny bloke. If you want to laugh, they're not sort of serious, sort of where you're going to sit down and get right into the videos. They're not something where you're going to feel like the intense action that he's going through. They are light-hearted stuff for you to watch and have a bit of a laugh at. You know, stuff that a lot of it's like the sort of the behind the scenes kind of funny clips that YouTubers wouldn't normally show. The things where, you know, we'll make idiots of ourselves and we'll all have a bit of a laugh, or, you know, we'll say something funny that wouldn't normally be put into a YouTube video. That's what the guy makes, and they're good fun, they're light-hearted, and it's definitely worth checking out. If you go over, check out his videos, give his channel a subscribe, and just wait and watch for more, because you can see he's a guy that has a lot of fun when he's going out there and playing. And like I said, you get to see some of the popular faces like Artwood, Yellow Guy, the Hidden Hedgehog. He's very friendly with the Hidden Hedgehog, and also Dr. Rush. Dr. Rush is another one who makes regular appearances on Barker's channel. Now, talking to Dr. Rush, this one came in at around about 20 to 8 there, so just a little bit before I was due to go live, and I haven't even finished watching his video yet. Now, if he had uploaded a little bit earlier, I would have watched his video, and I would have gave the shout out purely to him instead of Barker. But the second video shout out of the week goes to Dr. Rush. Now, the reason I'm giving the shout out to Dr. Rush as well, I'm giving the secondary shout out to Dr. Rush instead of just Barker, or the reason I'm not waiting until next week to give it to Dr. Rush is because even though I haven't watched the video completely, the guy puts real time and effort into making his videos. And in my opinion, Dr. Rush is really undersubscribed. I mean, he's got a lot more subscribers than me, but the guy, he's another one. Dr. Rush and Artwood have a very sort of similar sort of camera style, or at least Artwood's older stuff where he had his back harness thing, his third person mount. Now Dr. Rush is still doing the third person camera mount stuff, which gives a different perspective on videos from a different perspective on paintball videos, because you're not just watching what the player can see. And you're not just watching gun cam footage, you're actually watching what's going on around that player as well. And also you get some good troll moments where people stick their heads in front without the player knowing. But it does give a different perspective on the game. Now, Dr. Rush, he's another one that, like I said, he's been making videos for a good while now, and he is definitely worth going over. Check the guy's channel out, give him a like, give him a subscribe. Tell him what you think of his videos, because I genuinely believe that this guy he deserves to have more subscribers than what he does. He's a nice guy. He makes great content. Go check him out. Now, I think that's enough of me gushing on other players for now. Wait till next week. Right. So then, we're going to get on to today's topics, which there is not many of. So yes, I'm kind of hoping that, guys, can you share my stream around so that we can get some more people in, so that we can maybe increase the number of people here and get more conversation going. I know. In all honesty, some of you do share the stream around, and I am very, very thankful for that, guys. But I think I need to put a little bit more work into this. I definitely think I need put a bit more time and effort into my streams to make this a little bit more appealing, so that more people will actually come back and watch. Yes, I know, Albert, you do a sterling job, mate. It is It is very much appreciated, everything that you do for me, man. You're one of the guys that's been watching my streams right from the very beginning, or pretty much nearly from the very beginning, and your help is appreciated. And that's why at the minute I made you an admin. Now, if this stream was to take off and become really, really popular, or superstar level or something, I'd like to try and show my appreciation a bit more. But unfortunately, at the minute, I do what I can. Right. Anyway. So, topic number 1. I've seen it come up a couple of times lately on some of the Facebook pages that I'm on Facebook. Facebook pages on Facebook. Yes, Dexter, moron. And yes, Colin. Yeah, conversation is good. Right. Anyway, I've seen this conversation come up on a couple of Facebook groups lately, and I think it's worth touching on. And I think I might do a serious video on this I'm going to try and write up a script for this. I'm actually going to try and script this one because I think it's important for scripting this one. But the topic has come up about paintball for home defense. Now, my quick and easy answer to should you use paintball for home defense is no. At least for UK home defense. Now, I can't talk for laws in other countries because I'm not from there. I don't know. I think in the States, yes, you could get away with home, the States or South Africa, somewhere like that. You could probably get away with just lighting somebody up with a paintball gun, and people probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. I mean, it probably wouldn't do you any favors within the paintball community, but if somebody's breaking into your house in America, nobody's really going to give a shit if you shoot the shit out of them with a paintball gun. Over here, I think if you use a paintball marker for home defense in the UK, chances are you're probably going to get disowned by the paintball community. You'll be banned from pretty much any site that is anywhere near you. You're probably going to face criminal charges, and unless you do a seriously good job of shooting the shit out of that person, they're probably going to then beat you. Give it the best attempt at beating the shit out of you. Because you've got to remember, paintballs aren't lethal, and they are kind of designed to be shot at a speed or a velocity that is certainly well below less than lethal ammunition. So, now the big one I think that needs talked about is legality. Now, I haven't looked too far into it, but because I was going to be talking about this, I have pulled up a little bit of information on the UK the government website. Now, I don't know. I think I might have forgotten to actually include this one in the. I have. Right. I'm going to quickly put the link in the description so you can, if you are interested, you can see what I'm reading from. And paste. Right, now save. There you go. If you're interested, the link is in the description for where I've gotten this information from. But, right, so I'm reading from gov.uk, using reasonable force against intruders. You can use reasonable force to protect yourself or others if a crime is taking place inside your home. This means protect yourself in the heat of the moment. This includes using an object as a weapon. Stop an intruder. This means you can protect yourself in the heat of a moment. This includes using an object as a weapon. And stop an intruder running off, for example, by tackling them to the ground. So if somebody breaks into your house, the second one there is obviously you can tackle them to the ground and try and stop them from running away because they were in the process of committing a crime. However, you start getting into grey areas about holding somebody against their will. Chances are nothing's going to come back on you from that, but there could be then arguments made for it, and it could drag things out even further. There is also the argument of if they are not a combatant anymore. Obviously, I'll stress my opinion now. I think anyone breaks into your house, it's fair game. They shouldn't be in your house. But if they are trying to actively flee, then they're not they're a fleeing enemy. It's a lot of it's circumstantial. But then the other part of it, obviously, protect yourself in the heat of the moment. This includes using an object as a weapon. Now, that could be, again, using an object as a weapon. As I understand it, and it doesn't actually say it on this section here, but I've been told before, the stuff like you're not allowed to use a weapon, or you're not allowed to use something that is actually a weapon, unless it happens to be at hand. So say, if somebody burst into your bedroom when you're in bed and you grabbed a sword that was hanging on the wall, then you could potentially you could argue that. But even then, reasonable force, there's arguments about stuff like, if you use a weapon and all they have is their bare hands, then you're using excessive force. This is what I'm getting at about. It's so circumstantial, and it's so complicated, that me talking about this for 10 minutes in this live stream isn't going to be enough. I'm just giving my opinion on things here more than anything. There is no specific definition for reasonable force. It depends on the circumstances, as I said. If you only did what you honestly thought was necessary at the time, this would provide strong evidence that you acted within the law. Read guidance from the Crown Prosecution Service. Now, this is where I'm getting at with stuff like, if somebody is trying to flee your house and they are making it towards the door and trying to get out the front door, and you go at them from behind with a baseball bat, you can't really argue that that was reasonable force, because they were trying to flee and you've literally gone overboard. However, if you were to try and grab them and detain them, then you could argue reasonable force. And this is where UK home defence stuff gets really, really sloppy. You do not have to wait to be attacked before defending yourself in your own home. Now, that's where you come into the lines of stuff along the lines of preemptive self-defense. Yeah, Colin, I'll check that out in just a minute, mate. In fact, I'll check it out now. Yes, I think I've seen that before in a game, haven't I? It's a bit brutal, that. Right. So yes, you do not have to wait to be attacked before defending yourself in your own home. So yes, if you heard a noise downstairs, your kids are in bed, your wife's in bed, you go downstairs, or your partner is in bed, should I say. You go downstairs, and somebody's rummaging through your kitchen at 2 o'clock in the morning. You could potentially run in there and tackle them to the ground, and it would be decided that, or could be argued that you acted within reasonable defence, even though they weren't actually potentially causing you a threat at that point. Now, however, you could be prosecuted if, for example, you carry on attacking the intruder even though you're no longer in danger, or pre-plan a trap for someone rather than involving the police. Now, when you start getting into pre-planned stuff is where I think there's a big issue. Now, if you was asleep with a hammer beside your bed, or a baseball bat or something like that could be argued as, well, it would definitely be argued that that was pre-planned. Or if, for example, you're sleeping by beside your bed, you have, one. Well, whereabouts are you from, Juan? In some places, yeah, people do. To be fair, if somebody broke into someone's house around here, they would get cut as well. But it's just a case of being able to argue reasonable defence. So yes, now what I'm trying to get at is, or what I'm getting at is, if you are sleeping with a paintball marker fully set up beside your bed with batteries in it, you've got batteries in the hopper, it's full of paint, things like that. And that's all that's in your room. Spain, I think it's a little bit more lax there on home defence. Because some places are, like I was saying, America, somebody comes on your property in some areas, you can just shoot them. It's like, get off my land. Albert, right, what are you saying there? You had a friend who did time for hitting a bloke with a shovel who was breaking into his car. The bloke tried to stab him with a screwdriver, and it was his word against the scumbag, and the scumbag won. Exactly. Now, you see, this is why you hear stories about things like burglars that will carry a football with them, even though they're out at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to break into people's houses. Because if somebody catches them in their garden at 2 o'clock in the morning, what are you doing there? Oh, I'm looking for my football. They've then got reasonable defense in. They've got reasonable defense as to why they're there. And if you lay a hand on them, they can go, well, I was just looking for my football, mate. And trespass in itself isn't a criminal offence. However, you catch somebody with a bag full of tools in your front garden or in your back garden or something at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you've got they could be, if they were caught by the police, they could be done under the presumption that they were going to break into somewhere. So they would be accused of doing it. Now, as I said, I'm not a legal expert on any of this. I'm certainly not. But this is just all as I can understand it, and as I was wanting to try and get at. The whole thing is it's a lot messier to do. Try and argue that you've used paintball equipment for genuine home defense or for legal home defense is just near impossible. Because as I was saying, realistically, your paintball gear should be mostly unpacked. I mean, yes, you might have a fully complete marker built up somewhere in your house, but then what are you doing with an air tank on it? What are you doing with a hopper on it? What are you doing with a mag full of paint loaded into it? You've got all these questions that then need to be answered. So how do you explain all that sort of stuff? Now, realistically, I would say, how likely is it that a burglar is then going to go to the police and go, hang on, that guy shot me with a paintball gun? I think it's incredibly unlikely that that's going to happen. But there has also been cases where burglars have fallen through people's roofs and then sued them for having an unsafe roof. So, if it's loaded, it's pre-planned, no question. Exactly, Colin. That's where you'd be screwed over. You'd have no argument about reasonable defense. Realistically, are you going to go through your kit bag, pack everything, set everything up, and then go? It's a lot of hassle for it all to try and work out right. But I can understand that the temptation is there, and I can even understand the temptation. But what can you do? Right. So next thing to talk about. I realise that we've just bled viewers there, but what can you do? I guess I'm not entertaining enough tonight. I mustn't be saying what turns people on tonight. But yeah, Colin, it's an object. Yes, it is an object, and it's just a torch. So you have it there in case the power goes out, don't you? That's it. Right. But Albert, that's just about right. That's something like that would happen, and it's shit happens to good people. You try and do. I mean, at what point did we as a society go from an Englishman's home as his castle to you're not allowed to defend yourself? I mean, the whole. Hello there, Nightmare. Am I talking to Ghost tonight? So, if I am, good evening, Ghost. Welcome, and thank you very much for dropping in. And that's it, Albert. Sorry, Colin. Yeah, you have regular power cuts. That's why you've got the torch there. Let's face it. Look at the farmer who shot the burglar on the stairs and killed him. He went to prison. Yeah, that was it. A couple of them broke into his house, so he shot them. Now, I can't remember the exact situation on that. I can't remember if one of them was coming at him and he shot the guy. I'm pretty sure one of them tried to run and got shot. In which case, kind of shooting the guy as he's running away I find to be very distasteful. I mean, that's real life. That's not just messing around at a paintball site. Shooting somebody as they're running away, and if they're not an enemy combatant, not trying to actively kill you, it's not a wartime scenario or anything like that. Shooting a guy that's running away in the back, I find it incredibly distasteful. But if somebody's actively coming at you, and especially if you've warned them, then I don't think the guy should have gone to jail for that, really. But of course, a lot of this is all circumstantial. You can't just say it's completely black and white. There is a lot of shades of grey when it comes to talking about self-defense and home defense. But yeah, as you said, Colin, if it's preloaded, then it's pre-planned. In which case, you're probably gonna get you probably get jail time yourself if the burglar was to go to the police, or if something happened and say if they injured themselves on their property and couldn't get away. What headset is this? Caution each. I don't know. I think it cost us like 17 quid off Amazon. It was at the time it was like reduced from about 50 quid apparently. So yeah, it's not a special headset really or anything. It was just to replace my Turtle Beaches that broke. So Colin, he fired blind into the stairs, killed one of them, then fired again as the second ran away. Well, yeah, I mean, I would run away as well if somebody came at us with a shotgun and if I was breaking into the house. I definitely think I would run like hell. But if he's fired blind into the stairs, then if he lives there by himself, his wife's if it's like him and his wife living there, his wife's in the bedroom, and he fires blind into the stairs because he knows that she's there. I think it would kind of depend on, to me, in that situation, yes, the guy shouldn't have been there, and I would in those sort of situations, I'd kind of like to be along the lines of America. It's like that guy should not have been in that house, and if he got killed, it was his own fault for being in the house. But at the same time, the more lefty lovey sort of, let's all paint each other's nails and have like dances through cornfields side of us thinks that just firing a gun off randomly is a bit rough. But yeah, 2 quid for the headset and 17 quid for the lights. Yeah, it's actually quite a good headset though for as cheap as it was. And with me little adapter thing that I plug into my phone, I can actually use this headset as a normal headset for going out for a walk. Hello there again, Ghost. on your own YouTube channel there now. Winning. But yeah, and yeah, I mean, mate, I loved my Turtle Beaches when I had them. It was I got them when I was like really, really heavily into Call of Duty, and it was, you could hear people coming from miles off. They were amazing. It's like they were really good for surround sound and everything. You could literally like tell where somebody was in proximity and then just be ready. I had them. I had like the controller, the joystick adapters. They made the joysticks longer, so you were more sensitive and stuff. I loved Call of Duty back in the day, and then I fell out of love with gaming, and now I'm just kind of getting back in a little bit. Yeah, I can kind of remember that as well, Colin. That the bloke he'd been having people keep breaking in, and they were harassing them for ages as well. But like I was saying, the on one hand, on one side, I do think, if somebody's in your house at like God knows what time in the morning, they shouldn't be there. If you've got a weapon, then that's fair game. But on the other hand, I do also kind of think, you probably shouldn't have weapons prepared. Like, I mean, if the guy had a shotgun in a safe and then got the shotgun out because there was somebody in his house, I kind of, on the lefty lovey side, I kind of think, well, if he got the shotgun out, that's, yeah, okay. But still, he shot someone. But on the other hand, there shouldn't have been in his house. So, yeah. I'm sorry on that. But, yeah, that's just what I think. You shouldn't be in somebody else's house. You shouldn't be breaking into somebody's house at that sort of time, or at any time. You don't break, you don't fuck with where someone lives. If you want to be a criminal, go be a criminal somewhere else other than where people live. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Calm. Right. Now, going from that, Albert was told by a copper to have a kid's cricket bat by the door. Still would bat, but looks better for you than a baseball bat, especially if you have kids, as if it was a kid's toy just lying around. Well, yeah, that's it. It's stuff like that that gives you reasonable defense on stuff. Now, you could even go down the route of, if you want to have a baseball bat. I've been told before to have like there was a guy that I used to work with years and years ago. He was a joiner when I was like about 18. I worked with him. This guy, in the back of his 4x4, he used to keep a baseball bat, but it was one of the baseball bats you can buy from like Toys R Us and places like that, where they've got a fucking hell, Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. From like places like toy shops where you can buy a baseball bat with a ball in a packet on the end. It says just never take the ball out the packet, and you leave it in the back of the car. And if anyone stops you, well, it's for me Benz. I've bought it and I was taking it home for them. It's reasonable defense. But I mean, just if you're going to start beating the shit out of somebody with a baseball bat with a ball stuck in, with a ball in the end of the packaging, does anybody care that it's got a ball in the end of the packaging? However, this is all hypothetical, and this is just a story that I was told. Right, if they kept breaking in, then set traps. Now, that's the thing, Ghost. This is what we're talking about. Because according to UK law, you could be prosecuted if, A, carry on attacking the intruder, even if you're no longer in danger. So, like, for example, if they're running away, which just off the government website, that is also contradictory to... This means you can stop an intruder running off, for example, by tackling them to the ground. Those two things are contradictory, so because tackling somebody to the ground is attacking the person, which you can't do if you're no longer in danger because they're running away. But the other part is you could be prosecuted, for example, if you pre-plan a trap for someone rather than involve the police. So if you're being harassed and you decide, well, screw this, I'm going to set up some punji sticks in the back garden, you could be prosecuted if somebody came in and stepped on something. Yeah, so yeah, it's not good. So yeah, best off not setting traps for home defense. At least unless it's a post-apocalyptic scenario, and then if it was a post-apocalyptic scenario, set as many traps as you like. Setting traps is no. Ghost, I don't mean traps as in tripwire, I mean camera traps. Yeah, you could do camera traps. Just set up CCTV, but the problem is with CCTV, it's a bit of a deterrent, but can be counteracted by putting a balaclava on. So that's why generally you'll tend to find that a lot of sites where they have security guards on stuff, they will have CCTV cameras up all over the place, but then they will also have an actual person walking the site as well. A bear trap at the door just in case a bear breaks in. Well, you never know. Depending on where you live in the world, that could happen. Good evening there, Tony. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much for joining in. Hello all, and the farmer who shot the guy didn't kill any. He shot one in the back as the guy was running away, and the other one got away. Yeah, if he didn't actually shoot anyone. Oh, sorry, if he didn't actually kill anyone, the problem is he still shot someone, and the idea of having a gun ready is it's being pre-prepared, which according to the government website is what will get you prosecuted, which is what he probably got prosecuted on. If the gun was legally owned. Of course, if the gun wasn't legally owned, then that's another thing to get him done on. So, and then there'd probably also be firearms. Well, there'd be firearms offences there as well as everything else. Ghost, we set an electrical fence for the sheep. Works for people as well. Oh yes, mate. I've touched an electric fence before. It was one of the pulse induction fences. Is it pulse induction or is it just pulse fences? But it was for keeping horses out. I was helping the guy build some stables, and I say he wasn't around. I told us it was an electric fence. I brushed against it a couple of times and didn't feel anything. So I touched it, didn't feel it. Touched it again, didn't feel it. This is a bit shit. So I got a hold of it, And that must have been at the point when the pulse went round and shocked us, and fucking, yeah, that hurt. I'm glad my hands weren't wet. Tony, his place isn't far from me. He is out of prison and doesn't live at his farm anymore, as he is too scared due to the lads who broke in were travellers, and he now says he's too scared to go back. I'm not surprised, mate. Travellers hold a grudge. They don't like being fucked with. I mean, just look at that. Look at the guy that killed a traveller who broke into his house just not that long ago. It was like an old bloke. I think it was like in his 80s or something. They came at him with a screwdriver. Somehow he got the screwdriver off them, stabbed one of them. They got outside and keeled over, and then they were going up and like they were giving it the whole. But he was such a good man. Why did you kill him? It's like, what? They broke into someone's house, which in my opinion is a big no-no straight off the bat. Attacked him with a screwdriver. He defended himself, and he's the bad guy. What? This is like the people that supported Raoul Mort. Like some mental knobhead who shot people. And then people are like, oh yeah, but he fought the system. No, he didn't. He was a knobhead who went on a shooting spree. The world is a completely insane, messed up place. Tony, in case they go after him, apparently they had been breaking in for months. Yeah. That's it. It's people sometimes get into their heads that, you know, they. I was talking with a guy the day at work. You know, some of these people get into their heads that people have got valuables, that they've got more than they're letting on. And there was a case a few years ago where I mean, this is great, this is fantastic paintball chat, isn't it? But there was a case a few years back, and I really need to set my camera up, like on working with my laptop, and then I'll try and set some up so I can screen share. So if we're talking about stuff like this, I'll try and pull stuff up in the stream itself. But there was a guy a few years ago. There was some people broke into his house, and these guys had it in their heads that this bloke and this family had a safe in their house. And everyone knows, right, that anyone who's got a safe, it's full of gold bullion, you know, diamonds the size of a fist, you know, all of this stuff. Everyone knows that if you have a safe, you've got all of these things in there. You know, like the hidden Leonardo da Vinci paintings and stuff, the Holy Grail. It's all in. And anyone who's got a safe has these items in their safe. So these guys, they break into this family's house. They know that he has a safe somewhere in that house. So they wanted to be in the safe. Well, the family said, we don't have a safe. Well, you're lying. So they started torturing them. And apparently they pinned the bloke down on the floor. They plugged the iron in and turned it on and put it on his back. And let it burn through to his spine. Because they had it in their heads that man had a safe. So they were going to torture the family. Well, they were going to torture him until he told them where the safe was and how to get into it. Because these people aren't the brightest. I mean, can you imagine what somebody would have had, what they would have had to witness to do that? The kind of people that would do something like that. Anyway. Glory, lovely conversations, lovely. Ghost, when this guy tried nicking the Massey and he got an electric shock. Yeah. I'll take it he must live on a farm then, Ghost. It's a Massey Ferguson, like a proper old tractor. Right, anyway. So, next topic of conversation. Something that's a little bit brighter, something that's a little bit more positive for us. I'll just close down that page, but as I said, I'm probably going to try and do a proper video sitting down talking about I want to talk about the laws on actually using paintball for home defense, but it's something I'm going to have to spend a bit of time researching and having a bit of time looking at. So I'll try and bring something proper back for you. Ghost, what's the crack with YPC this weekend? Is it a proper walk on? Is it 1989 or what's the situation with it? If you give us some information about it, I'll give it a shout out in the stream. Right, anyway, so is it Twinkies the next topic? No, it's not, but it is, and it's a lot nicer than talking about shooting people and people breaking into houses. Right, so paintball is safer than bowling. So 1989 club for you, then. Oh, awesome. And it's is it £10 for 1989 club and like £15 for normal, or is it £20 for the normal walk on? Right, so the next topic of conversation is a post on thoughtco.com. This was posted 23rd of April 2018. It's just come up, just been getting shared around lately. Then I didn't actually see what date this was posted. However, this is using information from I think the early 2000s or possibly even the late 90s. It is how common are serious paintball injuries. Now, this one, guys, I think nice and up-to-date info. Then, well, Colin, it's still relevant information. I think it is still very relevant to what we talk about, what we do. But yeah, guys, if you have Facebook pages, if you got Twitter pages, anything like that, go down, find the link to this, and share it around. Because we want people to know that paintball isn't dangerous. Paintball isn't as scary as people think. You know, some people seem to have this in their heads that we're all like horrible and we're just nasty and you know we're out there to hurt people and stuff like that. But anyway, this article was posted up. How common are serious paintball injuries? Now, I'm not going to read the full article because I think that would just be kind of taking the mick a little bit. But the most common question about paintball is if it hurts to get hit by a paintball. The second one, which is a little bit. The second most common question is, how dangerous is paintball? In reality, paintball is relatively safe and most injuries come from falling or running into obstacles on the field. The most serious injuries, though very rare, come from players taking off their masks and other safety equipment. In general, if you follow the safety rules of paintball, it is a very safe sport, which is completely and utterly true. I spent now about 2 years working at a paintball site nearly every single weekend, and the most I ever experienced was people falling over and getting like cut fingers. There was one guy, one of the guys who used to play on the same teams as me. He fell into a ditch on the site. I think he fractured his ankle and still shot us out. And then they went to the hospital a couple of days later. I fell over once and cracked something in my foot, and it hurt for a few months afterwards, but I just kind of kept going. I'll probably have problems with that later in life, but but yeah, as I was running, I think I'd put my foot under a tree root as I was running, and then as I tried to run off, I'd kind of lifted my foot like that, and my foot stuck. I ended up going over, and it hurt a lot, but carried on. Ghost, £20 for both. Right, so yeah, it's £20 for both entry fees, and your home defense is 30 BPS. This is what we're talking about, Ghost. I don't really want to go back to the whole home defense thing, but the best thing to do, if you're considering home defense or using paintball gear for home defense, the best answer to doing it is just don't. It's not worth it. If you do it, you're probably going to get jail time yourself. If somebody reports you for it, you're probably going to get jail time for it. It's better for all of you if you don't. Albert, drunk once was dared to stick my tongue onto an electric cattle fence. Yep. Put it this way, I now have straight pubes. Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's it. I mean, as I understand it, The idea with when you see these electric fences where it's just one wire and that's it, that around, it's because animals will touch stuff with their nose first, because obviously they don't have hands, so they'll touch it with their nose, and the water then conducts electricity through, or the liquid on their nose helps conduct electricity, giving them an even bigger shock. So if you've done it with your tongue, yeah, straight pubes is believable. Tony, been marshalling 6 months every weekend, and only injuries you've seen is dislocated knee, and that's from a fall. Never paintball gun related. Exactly, Tony. This is it. Now, this is what I'm saying about the information on it still being relevant, even though it is. Yes, it is an older article, and some of the information in it is from like 20 years ago potentially. It is still all relevant. Paintball is still basically as safe as it has always been. And this kind of goes... There was something I mentioned in a live stream a few weeks back. I'm not even sure how long ago. But it was a news reporter that was doing the whole... How dangerous is paintball? You know, there's people going to accident rooms with paintball related injuries regularly, but it's safer than bowling. But it's the people going to hospital with paintball injuries. And how many people go to hospital with bowling injuries every year? I can't imagine there's that many. But I suppose when asked what's happened, they'll probably just write down, well, oh, I broke my ankle. Right, how did you break your ankle? Well, I was playing paintball. Oh, paintball-related injury. Right, well, that could have happened if you were out for a run, or even going out target shooting in the woods or something, or hunting or something like that. Ghost, you'd use a first strike pistol. The same thing, mate. If you use paintball-related equipment for home defense, you're probably going to land yourself in a lot of trouble if the police were to rock up, because it's what I was saying. You're going in pre-prepared. If you go in pre-prepared to an incident with self-defense, well, you're not really. It's not really self-defense. It's preempted. And yes, there is an argument to be made about preemptive self-defense, but if you've got pre-prepared equipment ready to go, then it's along the same lines of setting a trap, and you could be prosecuted. Colin, I don't use anything paintball related. Closest I'd grab is the closest I get is to grab a barrel out of a storage box under your bed. Yeah, I suppose if you went at somebody with a paintball barrel, then yeah, I mean, you know, like what's somebody going to argue in that instance? It's not. It's just a piece of metal, isn't it? And if you had equipment stored under your bed, now that would be classed as reasonable defense, definitely. Ghost, you've been reffing for a year and you've never seen any paintball related injuries. Awesome. That's the way you want to keep it. As a ref, you don't want to see paintball related injuries. Tony, safe because we keep the game safe. Don't let people be stupid. Don't shoot close range. Don't lift your mask. Take some common sense on the field and you'll be fine. Yeah, I totally agree with you that. The only thing I would pick fault on is the common sense. Because, yes, I agree. And I wish people had more common sense. But you've always got to assume that the people that you're dealing with are complete and utter fuck nuggets. Just assume that everyone you're dealing with, when you're working, when you're reffing a game, is a complete moron, and that will work better for you than assuming like common sense and stuff. The site that I used to work at, because we would only ever deal with one group at a time, would generally go out with 2 to 3 marshals per group. So there was plenty of marshals on fields for the group sizes that we're dealing with. What we would do is we'd go out into the game zone, we'd play a game. Once we'd played the game one way, we'd get everyone back into the centre of the field, everyone put their guns down flat on the floor, everyone hands on heads. Once they had their hands on heads, and you would have all the marshals, you should all make eye contact with each other. Is everyone okay? You'd get the thumbs up, everyone's fine, and I was like, right, you can take your masks off. And then everyone would take their masks off, and it was unbelievable how many times, and you'd have to be on the ball, because people would take their masks off, and then they'd go to do something on the marker. So you'd have to be ready to dive on people or give it put your gear down, because it's like that's it. People picking their gear up. That's the where I'm getting at with the common sense. So you've just been told, leave your gear alone because it's dangerous. We're taking our masks off so that we can defog and all that sort of stuff. And you want to pick up your gun that's firing a projectile that's travelling at 200 mile an hour. Like, do you want that in your eye? But we never had any injuries because we always made sure that we went through those procedures. We made sure nobody picked their gear up. We made sure that everyone had their gear down and hands on heads before we took masks off or anything like that. We never ever did that procedure if there was other groups of refs out with other groups of players. Things like that, we always made sure that we were on the top form with that. Ghost, it's not pre-prepared. The problem is, Ghost, it's the proven it's not pre-prepared. Now, you can't prove a negative, but if that was to go to court, now obviously, as I said earlier on, most of the time, if somebody was to break in your house and you shoot them with a paintball gun, it's good. Even if you gave them a punch or you hit them with a baseball bat or something like that, if they then flee, chances are they're not going to go to the police because then they've got to explain what they were doing in your house at stupid o'clock in the morning. However, if they are stupid enough to do that, then you have to explain why you had a loaded paintball pistol or loaded paintball marker on you at 2 o'clock in the morning when you went to go and do something. Now, if you say, well, because I had it for home defense, well, that means that it's pre-planned. The other option is you've then got to say, well, I loaded everything ready to play, ready for to go do it when I heard somebody was breaking into the house. Well, would it then not make more sense to just pick up a bat, or pick up a hammer, or pick up a heavy ornament that you had in the room? I mean, you could literally pick up that and go downstairs and say you used that in itself as a weapon. But if people aren't going to really believe you if you say, well, I stuck a tank on that, and then I stuck a hopper on it, and then I turned the gas on, and then I loaded it with paint, and then I went down. It's the whole what is reasonable and what people are actually going to believe. Like I said, your best bet is to just not use paintball equipment for home defense, because the other thing is, if you use paintball equipment for home defense, and then you try and if that gets out and gets heard about in the public and things like that, chances are the paintball community a lot of paintballers will probably turn on you for the fact that you've drawn the attention of paintball equipment in a negative light. Because if you do it and it gets into the press, then chances are other people will probably then start copying you because, oh, well, if it works, they'll do it. It's just best that you don't do it. Colin, so same as while I'm at work then. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I've kind of lost track of what we're talking about now. Ghost, normally you're the Predator, but you're also reffing this weekend. Well, you must work in a Delta Force then. Yeah, if you're playing as like the Predator, although YPC does also have a Predator character. In fact, I think YPC were the first to do the Predator character, like in the game zones to play with along with the rental customers, and then there was other sites started copying it. Albert, only injuries when reffing was one of me diving on a bloke who lifted his mask on the game at the BZ Bridge. Yeah, but that's the thing. To me, I would rather a player, complains that I've squished them a little bit, or the break. Even down to the point, I would rather have a player have me jump on top of them and break a rib or something like that, than them lose their eyes by lifting their mask in a game zone. And I think they could probably take it to court, and if you explained your reasoning behind jumping on that person, you haven't jumped on them for to beat them up or anything like that. You've jumped on them for to protect them. I don't think there's any courts would prosecute you for that. I think they'd have to be insane. You've jumped on that person for to protect them, not for to injure them. But then again, I suppose we're not quite at the American sort of where there's blame, there's a claim culture yet. But, of course, things happen in courts. People, things go ways that people weren't expecting it and stuff. You never know what's going to happen. And I've also just noticed we're now up to 11 viewers. Thank you very much. Good evening there, Gassy. Thank you very much. Yes, I am the day walker. I'm not full orangutan. I am only half orangutan. Right. So I was going to say, I've just noticed that we've got 11 people in the chat there, or 11 people watching the stream. We're now down to 10. Somebody has gone. To hell with you. You have abandoned the stream. So, but thank you very much for joining the guys. And somebody's back. I'm assuming that the 11th person there is a different person to the person I've just told to go to hell. If you're not, I didn't say anything at all. Right, anyway. Colin, not being funny, if it's not pre-prepared, think how long it takes to get it out of the box, load the mag, load the CO2, versus just grabbing something to use as a club. That's the argument that would be made in, if it was like in a case of like the law court. It's the preparing something versus it just being there ready. Now, I suppose you could argue if your gear was like, if I was still living at home with me mum and I was in my bedroom and I had all of my paintball gear literally just chucked on the floor, and then yeah, okay, I suppose I could argue, well, my gun was already set up from the last time I was at the field, and I just chucked the paint in and did it. But if you've got to go and like set all of your gear up, or you've got to get gear out, or your paintball gear stored in the garage or something like that, but you've got your marker in your bedroom, yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult to try and argue that. Tony, we average 40 to 60 a day and have 4 marshals and a photographer / secondary marshal, so always have a good number of marshals to players, and we never allow masks to be lifted past the entrance to the gun racks. Well, that's a good policy. And like I was saying earlier, with the site that I worked at, yes, we let customers lift their masks in the game zone, but only when there was most of the time there was only ever one group. If there was other groups out, then we didn't let them do it. And we'll only ever let them lift their masks if we were secure in the fact that all markers were on the floor and all hands were away from markers. But when they were going for the markers, they would walk past a certain point where I was like, right, masks on before you go past a certain point, which led into the gun racks, the same as what you're already describing. They got their markers, they went out, they played a game, and then from there would do the whole procedure that I explained earlier on. And it always worked fine. We never had any issues. But for the most part, the safe way of doing it, the safe way of doing it really is to just have that policy of no masks off past past that point. What we got? Ghost, you've got a 9-inch blade and a cut down scooter handlebars. Yeah, well, you're still running the same problem. If you have those things there and there's not a reason for you to have them there, then you could run into problems. Although those things are probably not going to land you in as much trouble as having a paintball marker set up would. Ben, nope, it was Bautry. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Comrade Gasky. And yes, I do quite like Pumpski as well. And Ghost, TPX is on their bed with 4 CO2 and 7 first strike. Well, oh right, right. Yeah, Ben, it was Bautry that had the Predator first. Right, fair enough, man. Fair enough. So it's a popular sort of character to have with rentals, especially the whole sort of thing of like if he's looking at you, you can't move. And I know it's then also been adapted by like other like even airsofters have got their Predator characters, which I'm not sure where it was, but there was I saw. I'm not sure if it was Instagram where I saw the video. It was some airsofters playing a game, and I know I'm talking about airsoft, which is oof, I'm being a monster, but but these airsofters, they had a couple of Predator characters walking through the game, and they're walking through with like the big heavy Gatling guns and stuff like that. Yes, gay soft. But so they're walking through with their Gatling guns and the LMGs and stuff. But they had the full sort of headgear on, and they had armor which looked to be like made out of car tires, and it looked awesome. I can't fault them on that. A lot of airsoft gear does look awesome, but it just doesn't do it for me. The gear looks nice, yes, but there's just no fear about being hit. Just yeah. I'm not going to knock anyone who does it. There's one of the lads I work with who's a cracking guy who plays airsoft, but it's just not particularly for me. There isn't the fear that there is from being hit with a BB as there is with airsoft with paintball. It's just not the same. And Gassy plays airsoft now. I saw that. Like I said, Gassy, right? When you go play airsoft, just play airsoft like you would play paintball, and they'll love you. They will just out and proud. Is that Yahia Yaquia who's buying you an airsoft gun? But yeah, mate, just play airsoft like you would play paintball, and they will love you. I was really tempted to do that as well, mate. Oh shit. I don't do the whole opening cans of pop very well. The fizz all over the place. Oh dear. Oh man. Right, no. It's Saturday to come. Oh well, I hope you have a good time, mate. I genuinely do hope that you have a good time. It might be airsoft, but yeah, go have fun, mate. Right, Tony. Spoke to a guy from ITV who wanted to talk about your previous incident, who brought up airsoft and how he used to play, but it hurt way too much, so he stopped. Yeah. Oh, yes. Delicate little flowers. This is it. I don't understand these people. And it's like, all right, I understand you might get the odd hit that might hit you a bit harder, and like you see videos and stuff of airsoft BBs that are stuck in people's skin, and it's like that's generally from snipers that are going to be shooting like really high velocities. So you can be looking at like, I think the legal limit in the UK for airsoft is something like 500 feet per second, but that is generally limited to sniper rules, which are then also supposed to have a minimum firing distance and stuff. But that's it. I mean, when I was playing and I was getting shot, for a lot of the time, you didn't tend to feel all that much. But anyway, right. So getting off topic a little bit. Not that I'm on topic particularly, but but yeah, Tony. So was that ITV wanting to cover your happenings as well? I hope you're getting paid for these articles, mind. Right. What else we got? But yeah, Gassy, just run around shouting it bounced. Check yourself and then just, yeah, it bounced. What else we got? I thought it was last weekend, Ben. Nope, I guess it's this weekend coming. Colin, Combat Zone used to have their CZ sniper, would take out players who wipe or even up the game if one side was winning all the time. Yeah, I kind of like that. I do like the fact that some of these things, some of these monsters and like YPC, as Ghost said earlier on, who have their monster, or you have other games that have their predators and stuff like that. I do like these things for the fact that they can help level out the games a little bit without actually going in and going, look, you're going to play on this team now, and you're going to play on that team now, and we're going to split these guys up and things like that. Because quite often people want to play with their friends, and it's just another little way. The only bad side is that, of course, it means these sites have to have an extra person on staff to go out and play these roles, which I suppose as long as the site's doing well, it's not necessarily a problem. But of course, the more people that they have to go out and do these sort of things, then the more money that the site's spending, which means the more money they have to charge and things like that. Tony, best thing about airsoft is you don't have to clean your gear, clean the gear off your paint, clean your gear off paint afterwards. Yeah, but that's something that I see a lot of airsofters argue about. If you suggest paintball to them and say, I don't want to get my gear dirty. All right, mate. You're playing airsoft because you want to be realistic and simulate stuff, and you're worried about getting dirty. It is a good point that you don't have to clean your gear every time, but there is also this misconception. I've talked about this before. There is this misconception with airsofters that we seem to be firing dulux at each other. They seem to think that you get shot with a paintball and it stains your gear for eternity. It's like, mate, I'm not shooting a tin of hammerite at you. But this is why I've tried to. I've talked to airsofters before, and I even made a video a while back called paintball truths for airsofters, to try and rectify some of these things, some of these misconceptions. And I think I might actually touch on that again and do a topic talking about paintball myths. I might do little videos here and there talking about paintball myths, and maybe, I don't know. Ben, where was the topic? I don't know, mate. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, I didn't really have much to talk about. So tonight's stream is mostly just me sitting talking to you guys. By the way, I don't normally do this, but if you like my streams, if you like sitting talking to me, if you like my opinions on stuff, and you want to come back here and talk more, yeah, how about yeah. Please feel free to just down below the video or somewhere, if you're on the phone or something, like the video. That obviously helps people see my content a little bit as well. Share the video around, or share my videos around. Subscribe. That's a big booster. I don't normally ask, but because I kind of think for the most part, people are going to do what they want to do anyway. But yeah. Doing any of those things, or even just let us know if you like what I'm doing. It boosts my ego. That's much appreciated, Ghost. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much for that. Anyway, right. So aside from boosting my ego and from rubbing my little ginger heart and making me feel so much better. That sounded a lot more sarcastic than I meant it to. But aside from that, I'll drop back into the comments. Tony, there was, yeah, and well, don't really know if I want to do it. Love the sport, and would bring too much crap to paintball. Yeah. This is it. Whenever paintball makes news, if it isn't in a immensely popular light, or if it isn't in a really good sort of thing, then people tend to forget about it. And so there's one. I'm not talking about. If paintball isn't on TV or in the news or anything like that for anything other than look at this amazing thing, it's fantastic, then it's dragged. Even then, it can be dragged upon because you get people that will slag stuff like off. I like the whole Greg Hastings getting paintball onto Greg Hastings and the guy who, I'm sorry, I forgot his name again, but the guy that owns NXL, I think it's in NXL America. When Greg Hastings managed to get that bike onto Orange County Choppers, people slated that because you should be doing more for paintball. It's like, but he got paintball on TV. That's more than a lot of people have done for a long time. He got paintball on TV in a real positive light, and it seems like the guys that work on the show actually played along. They went and played paintball, and they seemed like they really enjoyed it. That was it. I mean, Colin, it was on like you said, it was on international TV. How many people have getting paintball on the international TV for a positive thing, and even then it got slagged off. So it doesn't matter what we do. there's always going to be somebody that is pissed off for something that you do. Ghost, you watch it, champion. What did you guys think of it? Because I still haven't gotten around to watching that episode yet. I'm going to have to see if I can watch it on catch up or something at some point. Just, I need to find some time. What else we got? Operator from Meal Team 6. That will be you up front of the lunch queue. Yeah. If I was there, I'd be right beside you. No, I'm on salads now. I've got salad for dinner tomorrow at work. I can't wait. Just what I want. And I'm down to I'm only allowed one takeaway a week now. Because apparently I'm too fat. What is becoming of my life? Whatever happened to the days when I could just eat what I wanted to, and it all just burnt itself off? I didn't have to do much. It just all disappeared. Yes, we like the ginger monkey. Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you. Can we get a Dexter's a Babbling Honey Monster t-shirt made? You know, we very possibly could. I am actually looking at. I've said before, but I'm actually considering seeing if I can get some artwork made up and setting up a Teespring store. And I don't know if it would be worth doing, because obviously it would mean some cost on my end, and then I don't know how effective it would be. I don't know if people would even want them, because I'd have to pay for the artwork to be done, and then it's whether or not people would like the artwork if I actually got it put on t-shirts and stuff. No, I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm considering in the future, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. I know I keep saying this with so many things. I'll get around to it one day, but I'm trying. Have you seen the video where some people posted up about funny stuff rental say? Yeah, I have, yeah. And if it's the same guys that did stuff like funny stuff that MagFed players say, and funny stuff that Hopperfed players say, and funny stuff that Pump players say, and things like that. It's yeah, I've seen a few of those. It's there's one that always sticks in mind where it's like the guy coming up with the pump action, or with his Phantom or his Cocker Pump or something like that. And saying the MagFed guys, oh, can I come and play MagFed? And say, no. Like, well, why not? It's not MagFed. Like, but And it's like, yeah, it holds too much paint. It's not MagFed. Like, all right then. And then the guy turns around and he's got a box mag on a rotor. It's like he's got a box mag on a die dam, not a rotor, a die dam. It's like, yeah, I've encountered those kind of players before. They're a bit funny. I can't have a hopper, but you can have a box mag. Oh, I must have said something there that upset some people, because there's people dropped out of the chat there. Nice one, Ghost. It's a good episode. Awesome. Colin, yep, I need to watch it as well, mate. PB Nation did it. I'm guessing that is the funny stuff that... I keep getting adverts for this honey thing. Things new paintball, I say. Yeah. You know all those... How many of them you get? The stuff like... Can I have a full auto one? Can I have a sniper one? Can you freeze your paint? I froze me paint. I know a guy that's froze his paint. Yeah, all this sort of stuff. It's always funny that the guy that complains or says that he wants a machine gun that can fire full auto is the first one to complain when his gun burps. Colin, you like salads, but then your salads are massive. Mine is too, mate. But thankfully, it seems like a lot of the stuff in a salad is negative calories. So, yeah. Tony, I like salads filled with chicken and steak, and more chicken and steak. Yes, I like salads where they are. You have like, bacon and, like you said, like chicken and steak and stuff like that, with just like a sprinkle of garnish on the top as a salad. That's how I like my salads. And chips. I mean, potatoes are a vegetable, so it's a salad. At YPC, we're supposed to use 50 cal, but we use 68 cal for the monster. That makes their little Timmy's birthday party a lot more interesting. Little Timmy and his friends on their 12th birthday party are running around giving it pew pew pew. The monster comes out, boom, get out. Tony, not allowed box mags at most events, or if so, it's limited numbers. Like there's limited snipers. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. It's not so much the fact that there's guys with box mags. It's the guys that complain that you can't use a hopper, and then put a box mag on the marker. That's the people that I have an issue with. I don't care. A box mag to me is just an upside down hopper, and I've played with guys who are using hoppers for years and years and years now, and it's never bothered us. So playing against a guy with a box mag on ain't gonna bother us either. I just find it funny. And Ghost Honey gives you discounts. I know it does. I've heard about it. There's one of the guys that I watch on YouTube, Chris Raygun. There's like a lot of his sponsored videos are from sponsored by Honey, and so I've heard about it for ages now. But I don't like all this stuff. I'm a bit old school, and these things scare me. Craig, Gassy, so they make your pot belly, but they'll never. They may take your pot belly, but they'll never take your ginge. I don't know, mate. Like, my forehead seems to be getting awfully bigger lately. So over the past year, I'm pretty sure I've gained an inch forehead. Somebody's taken me ginge. They may never take it completely. Seems like as my beard's growing out, my forehead's going back. I'm kind of scared to like get my hair cut properly in case my hair just disappears. If salads are healthy, why do you get fat bunnies? I don't know. But yeah, I've seen. If you've ever skinned a rabbit, seen the fat deposits on a rabbit. Yes, there's a lot of nice lean meat on there, but there is also big fat deposits on them. Please don't tell Andy we use 68 cal for the monster. The only way he's going to know is if he sees this stream. Gassy, stand next to Colin, you'll be fine. Ooh, fight and talk there, lads. Right, I'm just going to drop over and check something out here. Alright, Albert. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look at that photo that you sent us. Right, I'm just going to... I haven't even finished talking about that yet. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Albert, that. You know what it is? I'm pretty sure if you have a word with Colin about that, I'm pretty sure Colin and Luke could probably sort something out for you like that, you know. Yeah, alright, I reckon they probably could. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, definitely, that's definitely awesome. Right, let's close that. I'll close that one. Right. So anyway, getting back to the paintball being safe. Right, it was a 2003 study by the National Injury Information Clearinghouse, which is U.S. Customer Production Safety Commission, stated that paintball is safer than bowling, running, and almost every other popular sport. Now, I don't know if is it per capita, or if that's because if they're just comparing like for like, literally going right, paintball only has this many injuries and like football has this many injuries, then I don't know if that's a genuine fair comparison to make for the amount of people that'll play football or they'll play bowling and things like that, as opposed to the amount of people that play paintball recreationally. But then again, this might also just include people that have played paintball at all, so even rental customers. Many people who play paintball will tell you that their most serious injury comes not from being shot, but by running around the field. They may twist an ankle, trip, or while running into a bunker, or slam their elbow on a tree. Yeah, I think we've all experienced some of those. There is potential of a serious injury, however, and it often comes with carelessness. The most common major injury happens when a player takes off their mask and gets hit in the eye. The importance of safety equipment, particularly eye protection, on the paintball field cannot be stressed enough. Totally right. This is it. This is why refs get so pissed off about people taking their masks off. Only 614 people ended up in emergency departments as a result of paintball injuries, according to the data from this article. Of those, only 12%, approximately 74 people, were admitted to the hospital. That's pretty bloody awesome, really. 74 people out of all of the people that played paintball were actually, were injured. I think that's bloody good numbers. Or at least were actually admitted to hospital. But yeah, I definitely think this is a great article to check out. It's there's a link in the description, guys. Go check it out. Share it around on Facebook. Tell people about this. Let people know that paintball is safe to do and that it's not something to be scared of. It's going to hurt you a little bit, but it's only a temporary pain. It doesn't last, and it's good fun. Let people know. Share it around, and yeah, hopefully it might put some people's fears to rest. That paintball is like some kind of terrifying thing that they should be worried about. It might ease some people. It might make some people feel a little bit better about the idea of coming along and playing. Right then. So anyway. Haha. Right then. So, the big game shout out of the week this week goes to the Mayhem Big Game, which is held the 23rd to the 26th of August. It costs £65 for a ticket. And what's your ticket get you may ask, or you may not. And I just saw somebody there. I saw that we had 12 people in the live stream. I'm taking that. 12 people in the live stream tonight. I am having that. You can't take that away from me. I saw the numbers flick up there. Right. So, what does 65 quid get you, you may ask? Well, according to Mayhem's website, which there is a link in the description down below too, you get, for your £65, entry to the site for the whole big game weekend, unlimited 3,000 and 4,500 gas fills, access to the trade area, which is, of course... Guys, what are you doing? Get back in the stream. Why are we down to 8 people? What? How are we down to 8 people in the stream now? Have you done that because I was being cocky? That's just not on. Right. Access to the trade area, which obviously is a given. Unlimited sub-air access, which is a nice touch there. Free gun tech and services, which is really nice. If you're having problems with your marker, get along, show them, and they'll sort it out. Now, I can't guarantee that will be free of charge, because obviously if you need replacement parts, you will have to pay for replacement parts. Free camping, which for the most part people are probably going to want to camp. Entry to the Friday and Saturday games and evening events. Players ticket for the big game on the Sunday. Indoor kitting up area, which Mayhem does have indoor heated kitting up areas, which I think is a fantastic point. It's a fantastic selling point. Inflatables to be announced. Last year was Bungee Run and Rodeo Bull. Yes. I've played some other games before. Like Stargate used to have like the Rodeo Bull, and for a while Stargate did have Stargate did have those, but Paintfest actually also had I think it was like a inflatable maze at one point, and Ripper from Nest absolutely decimated me going around that thing. I have no idea how that man can move so fast around an inflatable obstacle course, but by the time I'd get into the first hole into the obstacle course, he was away, he was gone. Apparently, it's something to do with the fact that he has children and he's got training in inflatable bouncy castles. It's not fair, he should have warned us. Access to the players' party on Saturday evening. There is also a Magfed Games will be running Friday evening, and there was going to be a 2-hour night game. Saturday will be running Band of Brothers Magfed Games. The Supper will be there with a full-sized NXL field free to use for Friday and Saturday. Sunday, it's becoming part of the main game though. Walk-on players, you will have games running Friday all day and early evening Saturday, with the Sunday main event, a massive 300-a-side paintball game with a town in the middle of the fields, woods down one side and concept fields on the other 500 meters long. I've seen a lot of videos coming out from Mayhem. Unfortunately, Mayhem is one that I've never been able to get to myself yet, and people keep telling us to get along to Mayhem and go play it. I've seen videos on it and it looks like a brilliant site. It's another one where apparently they're just like the guy puts a lot of money into it. The owners put a lot of money into it, and they really try and raise that site up and put on a really good game for the players that are going there. It's definitely worth the one that's checking out. And if I don't manage to make it this year, which we're not sure, I might be able to get down. I might not. I don't know. Yes, I know, Albert. I know you've said umpteen times now that I've got to get myself along, and I'm hoping that eventually I might actually be able to get myself along to it. I can't guarantee, but I really do want to get along at some point. But I've been told it's a fantastic site, and that it's definitely one for to get down and check out. So yeah, guys. Drop in. There is a link in the description down below if you want to go and check any of the details out for this yourself. You can also find information about the game on some of the Facebook pages as well. If you just go onto Facebook and search for Mayhem Paintball Game, you'll be able to find some information on there, or check out the link that is in the description down below. Ben, I fell down the stairs in a hotel. Yeah. I bet there's been plenty of players that have done that. Gassy. Mayhem Abridged, the best site in the UK. Not something for every style of play. Awesome. Because I've seen that it looks like they've got like a street as well, which I think would probably be perfect for a lot of Magfed players. You looked at the camera, they died. Who died? Albert, Mayhem in my opinion is the best game in the UK. See, this is what I'm on about. There's loads of people tell us that Mayhem is a fantastic game, and for some reason it's one I've never actually gotten down and played. Ghost, I guess people don't like Mayhem. I'm getting that feeling too, Ghost. Free Gun Tech, which is Paul Banks. Yes, guys, everyone that's having problems with the marker, get a Mayhem and go give your markers to Paul Banks. Tell him Dexter sent you. Just all of your markers. I'm sure Paul will love me. Nah, obviously, just take what you need. Don't take the piss. Right. I shall swiftly move on. There's also showers on site in Mayhem. Yeah, no, that's you see stuff like that brilliant little touches for to have. It just that's the things that make sites unique like that. They also have 2 sites for camping, 1 quiet site and 1 noisy for people who like to party. That's good because whenever you go to a game, you've always got some arseholes that are going to be blaring music until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when everyone else is trying to sleep, but you've all got to share one site. But yeah, if you know you've got something like a quiet site that you can go and park in, that's nice. It's again, like I said, it's these touches that make games and sites unique. Things that make you want to go and play at them. Albert, yes, Dexter, get your ass to Mayhem. I'm gonna try. But I can't make promises. Colin, Mayhem is one of, if not the best site in the UK, especially for a big game. I'm getting that feeling, Colin. Ghost, I'm going to do a video based on your TPX and what's inside it. Good one, lad. Yeah, do it. Put it together, spend a bit of time on it, have a look and see what other people have done for review videos and for stripped down videos and stuff like that. Take some tips away, take what you like away from those, and yeah, do your best, see what you can do, mate. I'd be more than happy for checking it out. Garcia, loads of players from all over Europe. It's a proper international event. See, I love the fact that we have players that come from all over the world to come and play British events. That makes me really proud to be part of the community that we're all in. Colin, I can't fit all my markers in your car. And Tony, then you need a bigger car. Believe us, Tony, Colin would like a bigger car. And also, he has a hell of a lot of markers. Colin has a really good collection of equipment. It's like, it puts my collection of stuff well to shame. Yeah, Gassy says, he'd need a bus. Ghost, when I'm the monster, I use my ghillie suit and my clown mask, and I lay down and wait for people to run and jump out and scare the living shit out of them. Well, as long as you're having fun, mate. Yeah, Tony, that many. Yeah. Colin, I think I'd need a heavy haulage lorry for all of them. Yeah, you probably would, Colin. In all fairness, you do seem to have a good stock of gear. I don't need to see that one. Right. Oh yes. Albert, Dexter, you love the room where you registered Mayhem. You just stand and drool. Yeah, and I really do want to. I want to go in there. Cause it's like, does anybody know how many markers are actually in there? Because if there is, like, I want to see how many I can actually get right. You lost count at 25. What was that? Markers that you own or markers in Mayhem? Tony, outdoing just paintball and B by the and BZ by the sounds of it. Yeah. Colin's just like one of the biggest fans of people that sell gear. He's got some. He has got some really nice stuff, mind. Ghost, you might need 3 trucks to fit yours and your teams in. Yeah, Colin needs that for himself. But yeah, just your gear, Colin. Yeah, you see, I know I've got a reasonable collection of gear, but I'm nowhere near the 25 mark. But yeah, as far as the room at Mayhem goes, I would love to get down there and have a go and just see how much gear I can identify in that. Because for those that don't know, I mean, I've only ever been told about it, but the guy that owns, I think is it Ronnie that owns Mayhem? But the guy that owns Mayhem anyway, has a room that's full of paintball markers that they're all classic markers. Well, in fact, they're not even necessarily all classic markers, but there's a challenge on for anyone that can identify all of the markers in the room. And apparently there is some right oddball bits of gear in there that a lot of people don't know what they are. So, I mean, I'm pretty familiar with a lot of gear, but I don't think even I'll be able to do it. But I really want to give it a go, because there's a few different markers out there which, like if you look at some like old Nelson valve pump actions, there was a lot, and I mean a lot of clone markers out there at the time. You had stuff like the Carter pumps, which were Nelson valve, Phantoms, which are Nelson valve, but Phantoms are different in the fact that they had the round pump with just the one pump arm coming off underneath that goes into the body from underneath. But then, but they were still Nelson valve. You then had your Empire tracers. There was the original tracer, which I don't even know who made. I think it was the PMI tracer. You had Razorbacks, which I think were they weren't WDP. Can't remember who made them, but there was the original Razorback. Teso made the Spartan. Lapco made pumps. And these are just all just Nelson valve pumps like CCI Phantoms. So yeah, and you've got all of them that a lot of them look very, very similar. So if you could have one of those pop up in this challenge and not. No idea what that was. You could have a lot of those side by side and struggle to identify which one's which. So stuff like that I think is really cool. And if it doesn't have the name on the side of the pump, like say for example, if it's got Spartan along the side of the pump arm on the Teso Spartan, then you go, oh well, the Spartan was made by Teso, so done. But yeah. What else we got? Tony, I keep looking at stuff but keep stopping as I go. I would never get to use it. I have the same problem, mate. Like that I haven't used in, I think I haven't used that in about 2 years now. The last time I used it was at Alien vs Predator, which was put on, I think it was Alien vs Predator. It was Marines versus Predator or something like that, which was put on by Urban Paintball. So yeah, and that was like the beginning of last year, I think it was. So yeah, it's been. In fact, no, I don't even know if it was last year. It might have been the year before. So it's been at least a year since I used that. I've never used my PGP. I bought 2 PGPs at the same time. I sold the one that I had actually patched together and rebuilt and had working and everything. I sold that because I only used it once and didn't like it. I've got another one that's in bits that I need to rebuild. Since I rebuilt it, I tried to use my Frosty's camouflage 05 autococker. It wasn't working, so I've never used it since. Got it working, but haven't used it yet. There's all these bits of gear that I don't use because I generally just use the same markers over and over again. It's like every time I go to play, I just use the same markers. So I kind of at times feel like I should just sell a lot of my gear because I don't really use it. Like if I'm not using that, what's the point in just having it? But at the same time, it's most of my markers mean something to me. Like I bought that one off a guy that I used to play paintball with, because it was something that he had, and it was what he used when he was playing tournaments. And then when he wanted rid of it because I think he needed money at the time, so I bought it, and it belonged to one of the guys I used to play with, the guy that I consider to be a very good friend, so I don't want to sell it. You know, that one was gave to us as a present. Me other stock, that's Phantom. It means a lot to me because it was my first proper pump. It was the first pump that was bought that was a pump, not just something that I then converted. You know, all my markers mean something to us for the most part. Now, they've all been they worked on stuff, so yeah, I could do that, Ben. Yeah, I suppose it would be an excuse for to get rid of something. Then let him Palmerize it or something. turn the PGP into a semi-auto. Could work. But anyway, I'm telling stories. Oh, you gave Chan one of those PGPs. Awesome. See, I think Chan could make some awesome stuff out of that. Right, what we got? Not much is mainstream either. A lot of oddball stuff. That's basically what I was getting at, Colin. Robert and Ronnie Hollington. Yep. Ben, what was the you highly doubt that to? Can you remember? Because I'm not sure what we've what we've gone down, where we've gone down with the conversation. Ghost with mine, me dad's, and me brother's 30 markers. Can he? That's a good haul. That. Ben, yeah, like I said, I doubt it. And my other brother and my sister, that is why we have so many. It's a canny haul, 30 markers. Gassy, old 6-packs and everything. You see, I would still love to get my hands on a proper AGD 6-pack, but even Colin there, the 6-packs on the wall. Yeah, I would love to get my hands on an AGD 6-pack, but I think they're selling for about 500 quid now. I kind of justify that. I think even I'm pretty sure I could probably get at least 150 quid for me micro CA, and there's no way I'm selling that. That's another piece of gear that I won't sell unless I was like desperate. I'd have to be desperate and then I'd sell it. But no, I don't want to ever sell that piece of gear. I'd rather give it back to the guy that gave it to me before that. What we got? There's a couple. Is that the room? Tony, it's the room down at Mayhem. It's apparently like behind reception or something like that you go and sign in at, or registration. Yeah, it's just full of old classic markers and gear. Tony, where they are all hung up around the top of the room, and you want more speedball markers and newer ones, but the cost of some of them. My honest opinion, Tony, is you don't need newer speedball markers unless you're playing at a high end. I can play perfectly fine using my E-Tech 3. And it's the E-Tech 3. I mean, well, the E-Tech 3, even when new, wasn't a particularly high-end marker. And even then, I used it up against high-end markers. A lot of playing, the vast majority of playing, comes down to how you play as opposed to what gear you use. A player can go out and decimate with TPX. It's down to how you play as a player, not the gear you use, mate. But having nice high-end tournament style markers is nice. I'm not going to dispute that. Yeah, Ben, an Ego 5 and a Revy. I mean, especially if you're playing at something like a 5.5 capped event, then yeah, you could get away with an Ego 5. You know, like a marker that's practically nearly 15-year-old, and you could do serious damage on a field with that. But if you wanted to go for like a high-end like PSP or NXL or Millennium or whatever tournament, then yeah, you're probably going to want something more up to date if you're playing at a high level. But even playing low level, you could still get away with probably like very basic gear. Colin, yeah, I don't have any of those. Yeah, I couldn't afford them, like. Albert, this is off 4 years ago. There's a lot more on the wall now. Albert, I'm gonna open that in a different window, and I'm gonna check it out after the video. I'm gonna check it out after the live stream because I want to see if I can, like, just how much I can actually identify. Bloody hell! I thought I was like right through the comments. There's a whole load more there that I didn't see. What we've got. Gassy Albert has your brass beast. Is that what you're calling it now? Yeah, Ben, I picked up 2 at the same time as well. It was that hole that Ben Rex found. Well, that he got involved with anyway. Albert, no, why would you want to ruin a wall a wall of beauty with new shit? Because having new shit is also kind of cool. I have 4 different MacDev cyborgs, 2 clones, a tac drone. That's just the MacDevs. 5 AKA Vikings. Colin, why 5 Vikings? I know they're rare, but why 5? 3 AKA Excaliburs, a Merlin Cocker, and an Evil M Project. Well, didn't most of them belong to Gassy at some point? Tony, I'd love an autococker. I love the sound of them. Used one once on a firing range, and ooh, the sound got a guy rebuilding an Angel with a massive reg on the bottom where you score the bottle. Without a reg on right to the bottom of the reg. So, oh yeah. So it's like a proper fixed on proper the geek big old regs. Yeah, I had one of those on my old Automag. And I was never a big fan of the big reg. It was an adjustable reg that you crank right up to like really high Angel Air reg. Yeah, cheers Gassy. But you could crank the velocity right up on this. I think it was like a MacDev reg or something. I'm not even too sure. I think I gave it a Chan. I think. Yeah, you could crank it right up to like ridiculously high power pressure. But once you cranked it up, you couldn't actually press the button down to turn the gas on and off. It was just huge. It was like the pressure was just ridiculous on it. Ended up I blew it at Stargate, probably like around about 2011 or something. Gassy, Albert, Gassy, I'm on fixing it now as Richie finally gave us the tool back. Ghost, because we share markers with my cousins and people stop playing paintball, they all gave us their markers. Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot. When people stop playing, they give their markers on to people that do play. And, Gassy, Brass Barrel Club, on your Parma's Blazer, which was newly built for you last year. That was a beautiful gun, that, like. So apart from like PGPs, which I've never actually owned a proper Parma's marker. Paint magnet, yeah, pretty much all of your AKs were Gassy's in the past year. Atom and Rhythm, Air, Armageddon. Tony, yeah, massive reg on the bottom with the gauge on it. It's a huge thing, yeah. That's old school style stuff, that, like. Ghost, you gave us your uncle's original Geo, but I used a Geo 3.5 and a Shotgun XLS. And GOG Enemy, Empire X1, GTEC 170R, TPX and TMC, also Proto Rise. We share the rest, but selling the SYX to your cousin. Fair enough. Yeah, you've got plenty of markers to choose from. Colin, I've got 3 of those brass pump pistol things, the PGPs, but the original one was GP. No, was it PG? Because there was like, I'm sure it was paintball gun, and then you had PGP, which was like, no, it was something along the lines of you had paintball gun, and then you had pump paintball gun. It was when they started putting pump handles on the PGPs. And that was when they changed the name slightly on them. Oh, well, thanks very much, Gassy. I'll see you later too, mate. Hi, Gassy. Latest dudes, always a chore, never a pleasure. Thanks very much. Yeah, Tony. Brass pump pistol. Yeah, the old PGPs. In fact, a lot of the old Sheridan stuff was just all brass barrels. They were, yeah, the more you shot them, they actually polished the barrels. The more you shot them, so they were really nice shooting markers. Like brass blind barrels, generally really nice. But the old Sheridans, they've got this. It was PG then PGP. Thanks very much, Paul, and also welcome to the stream. But the Sheridans, they've got like really low velocity. I think I've been told that you can change the valve on them and stuff. You can put in like I was told you could put in like a Model 2 valve, I think it is, which could help boost the velocity. But it didn't seem to matter what I did with mine. And I never changed the valve. I just tried boosting the springs and stuff. Didn't seem to matter what I could do with mine. I could never get mine over 200 feet per second. Mine was always stuck on around about 180 feet per second, which was abysmal. And for playing something like District 23, you'd probably be fine, but other than that, it was just terrible. Alright, Albert, you only have one shit Tony thing, and then you own two. You only own two pumps. I only own pumps. Yeah, well, this is it. Most of my markers it's slowly becoming that most of my markers are pump actions, because I've said before, guys, I can't trust myself with a semi-automatic. I have no trigger control. I just like pulling the trigger too much just to be able to shoot a semi-automatic. Put us on a tournament field and give us plenty paint, and I'm fine. But yeah, put us in the woods or something with a tournament style marker, and I can't be trusted. Yes. It's just I don't think it's right on me. It's not right on it's not right on my bank account, and it's not right on the other players down the other end of the field. Colin, three from the batch. Rexy sorted. Yeah, that's it. I'm not even sure what numbers I had now, but yeah, I had a couple as well. Sold one, but I've still got one, which I kind of want to keep because it is a piece of history. But at the same time, if I'm not using it, then like I said earlier on, I feel like I should be selling the stuff. Ghost, he sold the other TPX build to your girlfriend. Fair enough, man. Tony, you seen the Sheridan long barrel shotgun looking thing online before? That would be the KP2 or the KP3. If it's got stock class feed on the top, like if it's 3 barrels, to simplify it, if it's got 3 barrels, then it's a KP3. If it's got 2 barrels and a hopper adapter instead of a tube on the top, then it's a KP2. That's a simplified anyway. But yeah, those things are awesome. They're another marker that I've kind of always wanted to get my hands on. I've always wanted a KP3. I've just got a bit of a thing for like shotgunny type stuff. Colin, one of those pumps was donated by a very nice guy too, eh? Albert, yeah. Yep. I was there when Albert got his pump, and that made him a very happy man. Best shooting pump he owns. Yep. Yeah, Geo 3.1 broke, so you own a Geo 3.5. Fair enough, man. Right. I'm going to have to make this the last thing tonight because we have now gone over the 2-hour mark, which, of course, for those that know, I normally try and keep this on around about the 2-hour mark. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with SAD, which is the Staffordshire and District Paintball Club, are doing a giveaway. Now, I've shared a link to this on my Facebook page, which is Dexter's PB Lab, just on Facebook, so facebook.com/Dexter's PB Lab, I think it is. If you want to go check that out, I did share it on there. But also, I have shared a link in the description down below, which will take you directly to the sad paintball page. And it's just a standard sort of Facebooky giveaway where they're doing, you know, they like the page, share the post, and tag a couple of people in. And yeah, as I said, Ghost, it's for a standard chance of winning a paintball T-shirt. It's just a T-shirt with their logo on. So head over there, give those guys a like, give those guys, you know, they share the post, like the page, and you can be, you know, be in it to win it, sort of thing. So yeah, guys, I'm not sure if anyone's just recently dropped in or not, but if you have, I'm really sorry, but I have got work tomorrow, and it is now. It's now like 10 past 10 at night, and I'm not going to be going straight to bed. If anybody does want to carry the conversation on, then I haven't actually posted it in this chat, but in this video. Although I will go over now and invite. I'll copy that. Oh nope, I need to change that. Copy that. Minimize, and I'll post it right below the link to the sad page. Paste. Right, there we go. There is a link now in the description for the Discord server. So if anybody wants to drop on and have a bit of a conversation, then I'll be around on Facebook and stuff. I'll be keeping an eye on the Discord server. I probably won't be in the chat channel unless anybody wants to drop in and have a bit of a talk. But if anybody does, feel free. But yeah, I will keep an eye on that, and I'll drop in if I see anyone. But I'll only be staying up for a little bit longer anyway. But anyway, so thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys. As always, I live stream every weekend. I live stream every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. So if you just want to drop in and have a bit more talk, feel free. I'll be here. hopefully I'll be a little bit more prepared next week, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But thank you very much for joining, guys. If you haven't already, and I know I don't normally do this, as I said earlier on, but please click subscribe down below, click the like if you've enjoyed talking to us tonight, and I shall catch you guys next week. Thank you as always, and I have been Dexter. This has been the Low Energy Livestream. Thank you very much,